Hi leaders, welcome to week 9 with Mrs. Brown. Our topic this week is communicate with style. What you say and how you say it has a major impact on your success as a leader. Noticing how others communicate also is very important. When you're speaking, what's the first thing you observe about listeners? Can you read between the lines when someone shares information with you? Whether your goal is making a positive first impression or building a relationship, uncovering communication strengths will affect how well you get your message across to others. Lance Armstrong, who's a 7-time winner of Tour de France and an American cyclist, states that a boo is a lot louder than a cheer. If you have 10 people cheering and one person booing, all you hear is the booing. Dianne Feinstein, who used to be a U.S. Senator for California, stated 90% of leadership is the ability to communicate something people want. Nonverbal responses, what our bodies, eyes, and faces express when we are talking or listening to others, are important to communicating successfully. What you don't say can say it all. Posture is the first one. How and where you stand can have meaning. Standing above someone who is sitting often indicates control over that person. Leaning forward generally implies interest in the person or topic of discussion. Slouching implies boredom or disinterest. Crossing your arms over your chest may mean you believe you are better than the other person. Voice. Your tone of voice, loud or soft, clear or mumbled, with what emotion, can significantly change what you say. Gestures. Ideally, gestures match your verbal message, although they can make whoever's listening react in certain ways. Eye contact can help show and maintain attention and interest. Facial expressions. Facial expressions are both the easiest and most difficult nonverbal cues to control. They can send a message before you even say anything at all. Appearance. The clothes you wear and how you style your hair are expressions of your individuality. But when making a presentation or representing a school or community group, it's important to consider your audience and show respect for a group. To help your message get heard, make choices regarding your appearance appropriately for your audience. Keep in mind that all of these nonverbal cues and nonverbal responses can vary culture to culture. In some cultures, eye contact can actually be very disrespectful when you're talking to somebody, so keep that in mind. It's very important to know your audience. Giving or getting constructive feedback often helps people make decisions and take action. The following guidelines offer you tips for giving helpful feedback. They also provide guidance on what to look for when asking others to give you feedback. This is all about how you say it. Focus on a particular statement or behavior rather than on the person who may feel a need to defend him or herself. Provide information that is valuable, not because it feels good to say what you're really thinking. Seek clarification on what was said instead of reacting to why you think the person said what he or she said. By offering descriptions rather than judgments, you can avoid making assumptions about another person's intent or motivation. Create an opportunity to share and suggest ideas rather than tell someone specifically what to do. Seek possible choices rather than just look for a single solution. Avoid overloading a person with too much information at once. Suggest you talk about other points at another time. Focus on the current situation or conversation rather than past circumstances. Choose an appropriate time to give or request feedback. If a person is busy or distracted, he or she may easily misconstrue well-intended positive feedback. This brings us to our activity this week. You're going to do a think and write about it. To give and receive feedback successfully, consider how you communicate with others, whether speaking, listening, or sending nonverbal messages. Please use the Communication with Style in Blackboard to complete this assignment. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 indicating you do it well and 5 meaning you need to improve in this area. Think of a variety of circumstances for each statement to determine a realistic rating. Also, write a brief statement underneath defining your rating. It is easier to boost your leadership talents and communicate with style when you are aware of your communication skills. Keep in mind the statements that you rated as lower and try to improve them. You can practice them in everyday conversations when you take on leadership roles. Thank you. If you have any questions this week, please let me know.